Beautiful Women contest was organized 7 years ago. It's been 7 years running because we really the magazine wanted to celebrate the everyday woman doing heroic things. So things that she thinks are part of her everyday life, we wanted to take time and honor that and celebrate it, because typically women who are doing amazing things don't even think they deserve to be acknowledged, and this is an event that helps us do that for them. The judges always say that every single nominee deserves to be a winner. It's the stories that stand out, the stories of courage and bravery and selflessness. Those are the things that touch people's heart. And I think that maybe those are the women that stand out in a pack of amazing women that maybe just stand out a little bit more.
I think that it's really important to recognize people who are contributing to the community in a major way and who are women in particular, because often women are not as well recognized.
It is my pleasure to welcome you to Winnipeg's most beautiful women gala evening. This evening marks the 7th anniversary of this wonderful event. My name is Marilee Caruso from CTV, and I am very proud to be your MC for this evening. Tonight we are here to celebrate the beauty of Winnipeg's women, beauty that extends beyond physical attributes. Tonight we celebrate a group of women who have been described as loving, dedicated, gracious, giving, warm, humble, enthusiastic, passionate, funny, and brave. It is now our great pleasure to introduce the 5 winners of Winnipeg's Most Beautiful Women contest, and to introduce these remarkable women. Please welcome Lisa Tinley, one of the owners of Winnipeg Women's Magazine. Lisa, along with her husband Glenn, are the visionaries for this event.
On to our first winner. Jocelyn says, I used to think that parents of children with special needs were just trying to make the best of a bad situation by being positive. Today I know they were absolutely sincere. There is a purity of life and love that shines through frailty in our world. Luke embodies this, teaching me to slow down, to look for the precious, and be thankful for the things we take for granted. It is my great pleasure to call up Jocelyn Armbruster as one of our 2012 Most Beautiful Women.
The award given tonight is for a specific person, me, but I wouldn't be me if I didn't have the family and friends that I have supporting me in the church community. And I wouldn't be able to do things like going to Flatlanders or taking in our foster son or caring for our son Luke, who's actually in Montreal right now. I was nominated partially for being a foster mom, and I thought, man, if I can just take a little minute to say it is such a need. Manitoba is in a desperate state. Thank you, all the other ladies that were also nominated and the ones that also won. I just thank you for living out your lives too, that people see there's something different there. So thank you.
I would now like to call up Ms. Rana Bakari, our second 2012 Most Beautiful Woman.
It's true, I did have a dream. I fought 3 years every year applying to law school, and it took me 3 years to get in. And this year, so today is actually bittersweet for me. I'm personally going through a transition phase, so definitely a very emotional time. And then on top of that, there's this. So please forgive me if I'm just a big suck. I just want to say that there's an underlying theme. When you meet Kristen and when you meet Anne and when you meet all the other nominees, you're going to realize that there's something very core to all of these women. Other than the fact that something about them stands out, you're also going to realize that they are full of courage. Courage to do anything they put their minds to, no matter what it is. And they're just filled with passion. Again, thank you everybody. And I want to thank everyone who came out for me. You're like the best things in my life, so cheers.
Thank you, Rana. Anne Ledwich, the baby of the group. Anne has been volunteering with Winnipeg Harvest for 40 years. Our third 2012 Most Beautiful Woman.
You know, this is the first time that I've ever filled a house or filled a show. I get more from Winnipeg Harvest than whatever I give. I just love it there. I was in England in the Second World War, and I never remember feeling anything else but hungry through the whole of that war. And I think this is what drew me to Winnipeg Harvest. I thank you all for being so patient and listening to me. Thank you.
Connie Magnuson Shimnowski. Connie never expected to be a voice for the dying, but when she lost her husband, she turned her own pain into a crusade to help others find their strength. I would like to call up Connie Magnuson Shimnowski as one of our most beautiful women.
Good evening, everybody. It's so nice to see so many people here this evening, and it's a real thrill and honor and very humbling to be selected as one of the 5 women receiving accolades for being just like who we are. May 15th, 1986, our world as we knew it ended. John died of a massive heart attack. He was 41 years old. I believe that every one of us has an inner strength that when we need it, it helps us cope and make crucial decisions. I was never one to ask for help. I relied on that inner strength, that gut feeling to get me through, and us as a family. The children and I had to develop our new normal. I knew I had to be strong for the sake of my children, to help them survive and cope with their terrible loss. They needed me. I now had to be their rock and their anchor. My mother was the same age as I when our father died, and left her with 5 small children to raise, which she did, working as a teacher in a small community. I knew I could do this. I felt it was important to develop myself, get my education, and show my children the way to become independent adults. As I mentioned earlier, life is what you make it. It can be wonderful. You can either crawl under a cover and let the world go by, or grab that inner strength and life and run with it. A positive attitude, family, like-minded friends, enjoyable co-workers, that all helps to make life wonderful and worth living. Thank you so much again. Thank you, Lisa, for making this evening possible, and thank you for honoring me. I'm very humbled. Thank you, and thank you for all my friends and family. Hey.
Kristen Miller. For the first time in 10 years, Kristen Miller has a future. It's hard to believe that 2 months ago, this 28-year-old was waiting for a heart transplant. What started with a stomach ache, Kristen battled through what she thought was a persistent flu. I would now like to call up Kristen Miller.
I wouldn't trade a single moment of it. The real miracle is that I got a transplant at all. And even in that waiting, with that machine is an amazing machine. I was able to exercise. I only spent 2 weeks in hospital after my transplant because I was able to get so healthy afterwards. Really though, the most beautiful thing in the entire world that I can think of is that somewhere out there, there's a family that made the most courageous and selfless decision during a time of such grief that I can't even imagine. They made a decision to save my life. I can never thank them enough for that. And I can't think of anything as beautiful as that. They also saved 7 other people's lives. Probably 7 other people like me. Think and talk to your family about organ donation, because you don't know whose life it could save. Thanks very much.
Touching, inspiring, and I know that I feel better and truly blessed to be part of the community that you 5 women live in. So thank you so much.